Hi everyone, welcome to the session on design of pipe supports. In this session, we are going to see what are the different types of piping supports. We will also look at the different guidelines which are used for selection of a type of support and for placement of the supports. And towards the end, we will see how do we select certain kind of supports directly from the manufacturer's catalog. Let's begin with understanding which parameters affect the piping support design. The main purpose of piping support is there are multifold reasons for providing the piping support. The first obvious one is to maintain the stresses in the pipeline within limit. So if you have a long pipeline without any support, obviously because of its self-weight itself, the stresses will be very high. If you have some additional loads coming on it because of the external loading or the fluid passing through it, it will be further severe. So the first purpose is to maintain the stresses within the limit. Side by side, your stresses may be within the limit, but your deflections of the piping system may be too large. So that may not be acceptable in certain situations. So we need to have the deflections also within the limit. You may have deflection and stresses both within the limit, but in the piping joint, you may have some bolted or flange joints. So at that joints, if the rotation is more than what the flange can take or a bolted joint can take, you can have leakage. So it also includes the supports also have to be provided in order to prevent rotation of flange joints. And that is one more reason why we need to provide the piping supports. All these pipelines are supported to some equipment. So you have a pipeline which starts from equipment A and ends into equipment B. So because of thermal expansion of the pipe or the weight of pipe itself, the connection where the pipe is attached to the vessel. So for example, if this is the vessel and a pipeline is getting attached to this particular vessel by means of a nozzle. So you have nozzle forging which is attached to the vessel. So because of the end reactions coming at the piping ends, they need to be borne by the vessel body. So these loads have to be maintained within the limit so as to avoid damage or excessive stresses in the pressure vessel. So that is one more reason or to control the thrusts or moments coming on the connected equipment. And also in some of the surveys, typically in the multi-phase or two-phase systems, you may have turbulence or flow-induced vibrations. So in order to keep the system's natural frequency within limit, you need to provide certain support so as to control the stiffness of the system. So that is one more reason why we need support. So as we can see, the piping supports, they serve multiple purposes to achieve various requirements in a piping system. Now let's see what information you require in order to begin the pipe design. First of all, in order to start designing the supports, one would require at least a conceptual piping drawing, or at least the location of the equipments and the layout of the piping needs to be known. This may undergo revision over the life of the design during the on the drawing board, but you need to have approximate layout to begin your piping support calculations. You also need approximate locations of the steel structurals which are available around this piping. So you can provide the supports from this steel structural parts because all these supports need to be mounted or to be connected to some either concrete foundation or to some steel structure. So you need to have some understanding about the whereabouts of the steel structure around this piping. If not, then you have to suggest to steel structural engineer that we need piping support at these locations. So provide appropriate structure around these points. Obviously, we have seen that piping specification is the main document. So this will provide some guidelines as to which type of supports are allowed, which are not allowed, and so on. and also the data regarding the process conditions, and multiple inputs will be provided through piping specification. We also need the insulation specification, which is part of the piping specification, or sometimes it is issued separately. So what is the density of insulation, how much thickness you will be giving. So those will be required in order to do the load calculation. So when you are doing load calculations, you need to know weight of the piping, which will include the weight of the insulation as well. We need to know what type of walls being used, because walls constitute major dead weight in a big piping system. So the type of wall, their weights, they need to be known. The loading which is coming on the piping, including the self weight. So some of the self weight components we have seen earlier. The internal pressure is there. There will be wind, seismic, and in cold countries the snow loading would be there. So there the specifications for this need to be known when you are designing the piping system. And if the vibration study is done, typically it is not done at the early stage, but at the later or the finalizing the design, you need to take into account the vibrations, vibration loading or dynamic loading coming on the piping, maybe because of some compressor or pump which is running nearby, or the process itself may be turbulent, which will lead to some kind of dynamic loading which needs to be taken into account. We also need to know the movement of the connection points. So if you are connecting a piping to a vessel, so let's imagine this is a vessel which is vertical and supported at the bottom, and you are connecting your piping somewhere at this point. So at point A you are connecting your piping. So because of the thermal expansion, this point A itself may rise up during the operating condition. So we need to know how much is this deflection delta in all the three directions. So the expansion may be oriented in space, so that we need to know. So this is the basic information one would require in order to proceed with the piping support design. What are the steps in the piping support design? So essentially the design begins with the determination of support locations. So in a short while we will see how the supports are located. So there are certain guidelines for locating the supports. So we'll go through that. So you have to decide tentative location of the supports, which may undergo change afterwards. But beginning, you need to have the approximate support locations, which will be followed by calculation about the thermal movement at the support locations. So if you have a piping which is moving from point A to point B, and you are planning to support based on the guidelines support at point A and point B. One is the self weight, so those reactions are relatively simple, but because of the thermal expansion, this piping may have certain movement which you need to calculate. So you need to know how the what will be the thermal movement. So at every support location, what is the displacement of the piping that is expected because of the thermal expansions or because of some other reason, because of the vessel movement. So that need to be known. So the next step is to determine the thermal location. So that is a separate calculation. Once we know these 2 points, we need to calculate load at each of the support locations. So it may be based on, if it is a simply supported a straight pipeline, you can use the regular strength of material approach to calculate the support reactions. If you are having, typically you have multiple supports and the pipeline itself is in 3 dimensions. So in that case, you require a dedicated software which will give you reactions for your given piping system. So there the piping itself acts as a 3 dimensional structure, and you are calculating, you are analyzing that structure and finding out what are the reactions at the each location. So there are specific the specialized software which are used to determine these support reactions. Once you know what is the movement at the support, so we need to know the movement, how much displacement is there at the support and in which direction it is, and what is the load coming at the support. You can select which type of support to be used. So in the next slide, we are going to see what are the different types of support. So we have to select the type of support based on the load and movement, or using a specific type of support, you can control the movement in a pipeline. So either way, you have to select the type of support once you know get a general idea about how the piping your piping system is behaving. Once you have finalized your support and sized it, the last part is to check the interference with the structurals and equipment. So if your support is having certain size, you need space to anchor it. So the steel structure should be able to accommodate your support, or if the support structure is interfering with your parts of your vessel, the vessel may have some platforms or ladders which are moving around. So your support should not interfere with them. So that needs to be done. So typically that is done at the detail engineering stage at later stage, but that is one more check which is required to finalize before you finalize the support design.